So to make your chocolate coins, first you're going to start a double boil. That is just a pot of water with a bowl on top. You don't want it sitting on the bottom of the bowl. It can just be resting on top. And then add the amount of chocolate desired. You can add chocolate chips. This is raw cacao. If your chocolate is already sweetened, then you won't need to be adding what I am with the maple syrup. And if it is milk chocolate, you won't have to add in the milk that I did as well. I am going to season mine because I am doing it raw with some cinnamon. And I also like to add some cardamom for more earthy and flavorful chocolate. I also am going to add some sea salt. This will help actually bring forward those sweet tones in the cardamom and the cinnamon. You can add other things like vanilla or peppermint oil. And this is after it has been boiling for a little bit. Once your water reaches a boil, you're going to want to turn it down a little bit to a medium low, so that way it doesn't cook the chocolate. You're just wanting to melt it. This chocolate is thick. It's too thick. It's cooked. So I actually had to add some milk to it. So if it looks like this, add milk, and then hopefully it'll turn out looking like this. This is just a nice smooth chocolate. This is a consistency that you're wanting to get. So after it is melted, you get a Ziploc bag. I put mine inside of a jar so that way it's easier to pour, so I don't try to burn my hand, which I've done in the past. Learn from me. And picking up the bowl, I wipe the bottom off of it so that way the water doesn't splash and burn me. All mistakes I have learned. And then with the spatula, I just kind of spoon the melted chocolate into the plastic bag, not making it too hot. If it's too hot, the bag will end up busting, and, learn from me. But you don't want it to cool down too much to where it starts to harden. And now time is against the clock. You don't want it to get too hard too quickly. So once it's melted to the consistency and it's not too hot, like I said, you're just going to take some scissors and find a corner and snip the edge. You don't want it to be too big of a hole because then it will goop out really fast. You don't want that. You want it to be like more controlled. And then getting your parchment paper, you are going to kind of fold the edges and then just do like a little spiral swirl, starting off with your circle and then just filling in the middle. As you can see, this is the end of my chocolate. The first batch honestly ended up looking pretty ugly, but that's for later. We can make chocolate chips or chunks with it, whatever. And then you just kind of swirl it on there and make sure they're pretty circular. And then this is the important part, to make them flat. You're actually going to grab the sides of your pan and slam it down. Make sure you're holding onto your parchment paper, but this makes it a soft top so that way the peaks or any lumps kind of get settled down to the bottom. And then you're gonna wanna throw it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. She can have that chocolate spatula, that's fine.
But
And then after you get it out of the freezer, it takes about 10 minutes, not very long. You can either cut up your aluminum foil, or these gold sheets were from a previous project that I was doing with some gold. But you just wrap up the chocolate, kind of smooth the edges to make it more round. I'm holding Maple in here, so I only had one hand, which I felt like I did a pretty good job just being one-handed doing it. But if you're going to use aluminum foil, just make sure that you cut it appropriate size so that way you can fold it over front and back. I have made them too small and too large and they end up frumpy, but I kind of fold the edges over, as you can see here, and then just go around and tuck those corners in and just make a nice little coin shaped. If you want to, you can obviously take a permanent marker and draw some design on the front of it, like some holly or a dove. We've done that before, just for fun, making the coins. And in the end, you'll have a nice little batch of coins to set out for your kids for St. Nicholas, to honor him and his story of giving to the poor. So anyway, I hope you guys have fun. Let me know if you have any questions, and enjoy.